Thank you, and thanks to Mr. Rinaldi. I think the discussion yesterday on Israel-Palestine illustrated the extent to which all of these things are political, and we need to take a political approach to them. It's clear that the European Union is increasing its engagement with Central Asia for the geopolitical reasons that Mr. Rinaldi outlined, and also from the point of view of oil resources, energy resources, and a way to access energy without going through Russia is for European big business, the European capitalist class, extremely important. And it means that in the drive to get access to those resources, that the commitments to human rights that were outlined, say, in the 2008 Parliament resolution on Central Asia are quickly often forgotten, in my opinion. If I could just quote from recital B of the resolution in 2008, where it says the EU insists on the need for and has a clear interest in seeing progress towards greater stability and rising levels of economic, democratic and human development and human security throughout Central Asia, and must always uphold its commitment to mainstream human rights in all agreement with third states and to promote democracy through coherent policies and the use of the means best suited for those purposes. I think if we're to take that seriously as a resolution, then it has consequences for our relationships with the Central Asian states, which often are fairly brutal dictatorships, have no respect for workers' rights, human rights, environmental rights. There's a lot of comments could be made about a whole number of those countries, but maybe I'll just make a couple of points about Kazakhstan because of its importance to Europe, as Mr. Rinaldi outlined. I mentioned at the last meeting the oil workers' strike that was ongoing at the time, involving tens of thousands of oil workers in the west of Kazakhstan, fighting for better working conditions, improved wages, and raising the demand for nationalisation under democratic public ownership of the oil workers. That strike is still ongoing. At the weekend, the riot police in Kazakhstan brutally attacked the oil workers in a city called Zhanaozen at the Caspian Sea. I've seen brutal YouTube videos, pictures of the behaviour of those police, and it shows the distance of the state of Kazakhstan, the regime in Kazakhstan, from the aspirations in terms of human rights. How they deal with these disturbances was, again, a few days ago revealed in the Respublika newspaper in Kazakhstan, which isn't a left-wing newspaper, but there was a letter in it which revealed that there had been discussions between the government and foreign investors about how to deal with these disturbances. And rather than dealing with these disturbances through improving wages and conditions, giving people increased rights, what was agreed at that meeting between the foreign investors and the government was to weed out so-called troublemakers, to weed out trade union activists, to weed out political activists who are opposed to the exploitation that's happening. And according to the newspaper, chief among those troublemakers was a man called Ainur Kurmanov, who I know personally and will be visiting in the next week, who's a member of my sister party in Kazakhstan. So you see the gulf between the reality, the aspirations in terms of human rights and the reality, which thankfully actually Sting also has recognised and cancelled a concert that he was due to play in July at an event linked to the birthday party of the president, Nazarbayev. So I just think it's important for us to recognise that and have reference to the need for an independent trade union movement to develop in Kazakhstan and in Central Asia. Just a couple of other comments about the opinion. I support the emphasis on education in point 2. I might put some amendments in terms of emphasising the public nature of that education, accessible nature of the education. It should be free of charge for people. I obviously fundamentally disagree with point 4, with its emphasis on moving in the direction further of a market economy, a privatised economy, joining the WTO. I don't think that's a way forward for these countries. And then maybe the other main point would be, I think it would be good if we could have a reference to the need for, in every trade cooperation agreement with the Central Asian countries, there should be not just reference to, but binding commitments to human rights standards, labour rights standards, the implementation of ILO conventions, etc. I just think we need to have an important reference to them if the words are to be more than just words about human rights. Thanks.